this guy. He's funny. Used to be on Saturday Night Live, does movies, does all those Hans and Franz commercials.
Does TV.
He
does it all.
He does it all. I got a million things to talk to him about, and always a pleasure. Always look at you with that big smile on your face. And why not? Rich, handsome, successful, you got it all.
They put the headphones on you like they're coronating you with the king.
Absolutely. You just got crowned.
My friend, you've been crowned like Miss America.
I'm not even going to shake your hand because I don't know where you're at in your germ thing now.
Don't touch me. I don't want to be...
He's like a royal at this point.
I was watching the Royals, and the basketball player put his hand on her, and everyone's in an uproar. You're not allowed...
is that right?
I want to be treated that way.
You don't touch royalty.
You don't touch me.
I want to be a basketball player.
Talk to me about, Kevin, talk to me about Hans and Franz, the commercials, first of all.
Yes.
The TV commercials.
You're
now,
back.
You're doing these with Dana Carvey, who, of course, you wrote the Hans and Franz sketch on Saturday Night Live. Am I correct?
Dana Carvey and I wrote it, yeah.
You wrote it together?
We wrote it together.
You sat down in a room?
We sat down with some pencils.
And pencils or pen?
Pencils.
Pencils.
And
there was two pencils.
Yeah, why pencils? So you can erase, let's say Hans says this, and then you erase.
At the time, there was no, computers or laptops.
But seriously, when you write something like that, a lot of that seems to me to be ad-lib. It's not carefully orchestrated, right? Like you guys just start having some fun with the characters.
It is, and these are two characters that, when we were writing them, they made us laugh more than anything. Because you get in the room, because they're so pathetic. Yeah. They are just so...
they're so every guy you see in the gym, too.
Right.
Oh, and they're so much better than everybody else, and it's like, if you think that, we can't pummel you into submission, then you've got another thing coming, my friend, and yet they do nothing themselves. They don't look any way. And so Dana and I mean, we really would, roll over laughing, not being able to catch your breath because they were so pathetic. So, I think because of that genuine root of them, they were successful, and we kept throwing them out there.
If you were a rock star, you would say that Hans and Franz is like your Purple Rain or your greatest song. Now, was there a hesitation to use your characters in a commercial for State Farm? You know what I mean? Like in a way, we want to keep this pure kind of thing, or
no,
you don't have that.
You don't have that reverence for it?
Not now. I mean, this is like 20 years ago that we came up with these guys, even more than that. So. We had written a movie, the Hans and Franz movie.
I know, and I thought that was going to definitely happen. It just seemed like a natural. Why didn't that happen?
The script was great. It was a musical.
Was it?
Yeah, it was a musical. We wrote it with Conan O'Brien and Robert Smigel.
Oh my God! What a great writing team.
Yeah, and it was in black and white in the beginning. It took place in Little Austria in New York.
Right.
You took the Roosevelt cable car to it to get there.
Yeah.
And then we would ride our bikes out to Hollywood to meet up with our cousin Arnold.
Wow.
And we have a bicycle built for two, and we pick up hitchhikers along the way.
And your cousin Arnold would have been the Arnold Schwarzenegger.
The Arnold Schwarzenegger, who was co-producing it with us and co-starring in it.
Wow. So he always got the joke. He
appeared in some of your skits.
Right.
He got it,
He got it.
In fact, he came on the show to be in a sketch with Hans and Franz, and at the time we thought, why is he coming on the show to be in a sketch? Doesn't he know we're making fun of him? Is he that dumb?
Right.
And then we figured he's coming on the show to kill us.
Right. Was his hesitation in doing it, he had just done like Last Action Hero where he parodied himself. And was it like Arnold, did he back out? Is that what happened to the Hans and Franz movie?
These guys, they have a lot of movies on the palette. And then they decide as it gets closer. Right. And I think because he just did a movie, The Last Action Hero, where he was, spoofing himself, he probably thought he wanted to go another direction.
So without him, you couldn't have done the movie? Was that the...
Well, pretty much, because we wrote him so much into the movie.
Right. So that killed it?
Pretty much,
So Arnold killed it, in a sense.
Yeah.
Did you go to him at some point and say, look, we worked pretty hard on this thing, and there's no doubt that would have been a commercial success. Do you go to him, sit down, and try to reason with him and say, listen...
You don't reason with a guy like that. It's all physical force. You have to go in there and slap him around a little bit.
Well, how'd that work out?
Not good.
Not good.
Not good.
So, in other words, that's it. It's over. Is that a huge disappointment to you? After I don't know how much time you put into writing the movie, but even psychologically, you probably said, gee, this is a pretty good payday if we put this movie out.
At that point, we weren't even thinking about payday.
Right.
Now with the commercial, you think of payday.
Right. Right.
But back then, it was pure,
But when you do a commercial for State Farm, you don't own the characters Hans and Franz, do you?
No.
So who owns that? NBC or Lorne Michaels?
I think it's Broadway Video.
That's Lorne Michaels.
And NBC, probably.
So, when State Farm approached, did they approach you guys on doing this, or did they approach Lorne Michaels?
I think Lorne Michaels. What they wanted to do was, you got a minute?
Yeah.
Okay. They had a bunch of characters they wanted to use from classic SNL as part of their campaign. It was the Bears. You know that sketch, The Bears.
The Bears. The Bears. One of my favorites.
Yeah, it's Michael. And then they had the copy, Rob Schneider.
Making copy
machine guy.
Did Rob write that?
Yeah.
And Smigel wrote The Bears?
Yeah.
God, he is a brilliant fucking guy, isn't he?
He is. He's really talented.
Yeah.
And by the way, the studio looks great. Last time I was here, it looked more like a strip club.
Really?
But now you're toning it down, I think, a little bit.
Yeah, we toned it down. Took down some of the lights and
I put a little wood up in there.
Yeah, and took down the disco ball. You know.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah. Made Robin wear a shirt.
It's been interesting watching your career, especially with the sternologies, where you could hear, you earlier in your career, where you're talking much faster. You know, it's a whole different person.
I think I was on acid.
I don't know.
Does acid speed you up? I think it's not.
I don't know what I was on. I listen to those tapes, I cringe. But
Yeah, I'm the same way when I hear myself.
If I had my druthers, I would not play anything.
No repeats.
No repeats, but you know,
it's hard.
The fans like it, and it makes Sirius happy, so we do it.
And you have some great guests from back then.
We really do. You know, some of them I wish I could go back and do again, like have a do-over.
Yeah. How does it feel when you're listening to somebody that's no longer with us?
Well, I have regrets about speaking of Saturday Night Live. Robin Williams, Gilda Radner.
Yeah.
Eddie Murphy. You know, a lot of Saturday Night Live people. No, but I have.
No, but he's dead to us, I think.
It's just people I feel like I just didn't connect with on the radio, and I should have for some reason, but I let my own bullshit get in the way.
So with someone like Robin, I heard you talking about that, how you regretted, the interview you did with him. Is that something that you talk about in therapy a lot?
Yes. Not a lot, but I have brought it up.
Yeah.
And my therapist did say, so what are you doing about it? And I said, well, I'm going to call him. And fucking so weird that he killed himself.
Yeah.
The day I'm going to pick up the phone.
It was on that day.
Well, it was 2 days before that. And I was hemming and hawing. Oh, maybe you got to want to hear from me. I got to do it. I was working up to it. And then I never got the fucking chance. So.
Yeah. I was in a sketch with Chris Farley. It's called the Chippendale Dancer sketch.
Lovely sketch. Fantastic. Funny.
Funny sketch, yeah. People love that one. And it was with Patrick Swayze.
Yeah.
Chris Farley.
I remember.
Jan Hooks, Mike Myers, and myself.
Wow.
And Mike Myers and I are the only two.
Yeah, the only two left.
Two left.
Members of that, yeah.
Well, Jan Hooks, you dated her before you were married. You dated her.
Yeah. Well, we were good friends for about 6 years. I met her on an audition at 20th Century for some TV show, and she was from the South. She's from Atlanta, and really talented and attractive, and I really enjoyed her company. We had a great time when we met, and we exchanged numbers, but there was no kind of romantic thing from her end. She was always dating writers, but we became very good friends, and we'd go to happy hours together in Hollywood, and she'd come over to my house, we'd laugh, and just
did he
really
kill you that you weren't like lovers, because you were probably into her?
Oh yeah.
So, but you have to settle for a friendship here.
I took the friendship, and it paid off. I'm very patient.
Isn't it weird when all those time you wait and wait? In my life, I waited and waited, and then people would just be my friend. It never really paid off.
Or you would lose being friends with them.
Yeah, right. Yeah. It just never. I never scored at the end of that scenario. It's so nice that in the sense that you guys had a nice long-term relationship. Yeah,
we did. And then about a year before SNL, we started dating. And
were you shocked that?
I was shocked, and it's really tantalizing when you've been friends with somebody for so long, and then all of a sudden it becomes something more than that.
And in a way, I've never experienced it. That sounds like a very healthy thing in a way. Like you really know each other. You know what you're getting into.
You do, but also it's different when you're dating somebody. Obviously, it didn't last. We lasted for 2 years, and then we broke up. Was
it weird, like after being friends all that time, then all of a sudden, now you're lovers? Was it just so fucking strange sometimes, like surreal?
It was more tantalizing than strange. It was. It really is how you should get to meet somebody and start dating them.
Did she turn to you one day and said, "Oh my God, I just, like a light bulb went on over my head, and I'm in love with you"?
I think it was a culmination of a lot of things. We had gone out to the Palomino Club in North Hollywood, which was a country like a country western place, that you go out for just as a, as a kick, just for fun.
Right. To goof on people.
Yeah, and that was her, too. She was so into kitschy stuff. Like, she laughed at all those things that...
Renaissance fairs.
You weren't supposed to laugh at,
Right.
She found the humor in that. And I guess we had a couple of drinks, and, that we became, and we got to that next level.
Wow.
Yeah, and that lasted for 2 years. The hard part was when you're dating somebody in a workplace. Let's say you were dating Robin, and you guys broke up.
Oh, it's so weird. Was it an angry breakup?
It wasn't angry. It just kind of ran its course, and we knew, we kept hanging in there, and it wasn't working.
And it's got to be weird. You're at work.
It's at work, and then we had a deal that if we met somebody, we wouldn't bring them around the set.
Right. Yeah, you got to have all these rules.
Yeah, but when you meet somebody else that you really like, you start forgetting those rules.
Yeah. And did you break up with her? Was it a mutual break, or did you kind of end it? And because then it'd be painful for her to see you with somebody if
Yeah, I think, as I remembered, I think I broke up with her.
Yeah, that's why you have to have, hey, don't bring anyone around. And
right.
It's so weird.
Let me know what's going on.
Even if she brought somebody around, I think I would still be kind of like, it would be uncomfortable.
It would be, right? You get jealous in a weird way, even though you're not with them anymore.
Yeah,
you don't want to be with them.
I'm kind of like that in a sense. I don't want to see them with anybody else, even though we're broken up, and I still don't want to see you with anybody else. Why is that? Why do we want it? Don't we want the other person to be happy? No.
You do want them to be happy, but not in front of you.
Right.
You know what I mean?
As long as it's somewhere else.
Yeah. You want to both be happy.
Did you get to say goodbye to her?
I didn't see her too much after SNL, after she left. We would talk every once in a while, and we kind of reconnected by phone. But I don't think I ever saw her again after...
She had cancer? She died young?
She had cancer, yeah. She died young.
Young woman.
Yeah, she was, I think, 57, 56. But, she lived up in upstate New York. After 9/11, she kind of wanted to get out of New York. And
didn't she abandon all cell phones, and did she go completely off the grid?
Well, this year I talked to her, and she was very excited about. I don't know if it was excited, but she was she had a new cell phone. She had a cell phone for once in her life.
Right.
And she had a laptop that her brother got her, so she could communicate with people finally. And I guess she didn't have one for all that time.
Wow.
And just kind of wanted to keep a simple life.
Huh.
But yeah, I didn't see her that much. I called her once in a while on her birthday maybe, or on, I sent her a Christmas card, she'd send back one.
Is Saturday Night Live like a club where, even after you leave, I know Sandler puts you in every one of his movies.
Not everyone.
But that's true. Yeah. A lot of them. And always puts you in weird
I won't
shit.
do them all.
Right.
Although there was one called Grandma's Boy that I read the script. I thought, I don't know about this one. This is kind of crass. I mean, this is kind of where I draw the line because, there's kids ejaculating on their grandparents in the film and stuff. I thought,
that was never made, was it?
It was made.
It was?
And Sandler calls me and goes, Nealon, I really hope you do this film because if you don't do it, it's a big hit. I'm going to feel bad because you weren't in it. But, if it's not a big hit, no one's going to see it anyway.
But he's always fucking with you, too. He's always putting tits on your head and weird shit, right?
They're always humiliating roles for. No, I love Sandler, but it's always funny to see the parts he puts me in. Like in Little Nicky, I had tits on my head. I was tit head.
Yeah, you were tit head. Yeah, you were tit head. That's a funny bit, though. Yeah. I mean, it really was.
And these tits were amazing. They looked so authentic. They make the part did a great job. And they.
How long does it take to put a tit on your head?
One tit takes about 25 minutes.
Oh, is that it?
Yeah, but when you're doing two, it's more like 3 hours.
Wow. Why is that? You just got to make room.
You got to match them.
Yeah.
And so, and everybody wanted to feel them, especially women.
Right.
They had water in them, too. They filled them with condoms full of water,
wow.
so they jiggled. And it was interesting because mostly women wanted to feel them.
Right.
And a lot of times I had to stop in the middle of the conversation and say, excuse me, my eyes are down here.
Right. Yeah, people just look at your tits and that's it.
And then they took them off at the end of the day. Nobody cared about me. It was like I was invisible.
So when you, so I guess what I'm driving at is after you leave, is there a certain security, it seems,
you have all these connections.
Yeah, like everybody takes care of everyone else. They try to anyway, right? Or when you leave Saturday, yeah, people kind of trying to take care of each other. Like Sandler thinks of you.
A company.
Yeah, and...
Well, it seems like that's such a big stepping stone for a lot of people, and so many people remember that experience there. And I think you're right. Yeah, I think it's kind of like it's a lifelong kind of membership in a club, especially the hosts. Like, I'll run into hosts that hosted, like when I was on the show way back when, and they remember, they look at me like I'm their best friend.
Yeah, because you went through something. I mean, I'm sure it's traumatic for anybody who hosts that thing. It's got to be, because you're being evaluated week after week. The ratings are looked at and this and that. They probably feel like they went through the war with you,
Yeah. The first show I was on was Sigourney Weaver hosted.
Right.
And this is when Alien was big and everything, and she was hosting, and it was so stressful doing the first show. And then I remember going through it with her, and then at the end being so jealous because she got to leave and move on and do her career. And I had to stay.
Are you leaving me?
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. So wait, get back to Hans and Franz.
Look at how good you are.
Well, how good am I?
You're a good interviewer.
I am? Thank you.
You're right on the mark. The thing about you, Howard, and if I may just take a break here.
Go ahead.
Sure.
And Robin, you too. We all know you guys so well over the years. It's like you're part of our family. I know that you have a small penis. I know about your parents. I know about Roosevelt.
Do you know I have hair halfway up the shaft of my penis?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I've seen the pictures.
I'm going to show you later.
So, when people come in here, they just feel...
They feel at home.
They feel at home.
They feel at home. Go back to this Hans and Franz business. Thank you for saying that. The Hans and Franz business for a second.
Okay.
So State Farm decides they want to use some Saturday Night Live characters. They get in touch with Lauren. They get permission. They have to get permission to use these characters.
And by the way, I don't think Lauren would have given permission, 15 years ago, 20 years ago.
Right, because he gets protective of these characters, and he knows they're potential movie people. But this, probably 20 years have passed since Hans and... Can you believe 20 years?
I would have to figure out how long it was. It might have been more than that, like the 87.
Wow. I can't do the math right now. You want me to do the math? I'll do it. Okay, look.
You got Fred working on that right now.
No, I'm going to do it. I'll do it for you in my head. I'm pretty good at math. I know my gazintas. 87, you add 10 immediately. You're up to 97. Add another 10.
Years ago.
2007. Yeah. Now you have 20. Now bank the 20. All right? That's in the bank.
That's there.
All right, now we got the hard part. This is 2014. Or 15, is it?
14. We're still in 14.
Right. Oh, so that you add another 27 years. 27 years. That's how I got to the math. I do it out loud so people
Showing
can learn.
the work.
I saw you with your fingers down below the desk.
Yeah. No, that was me jerking off. Wait, so the State Farm, then, they get in touch with you guys, and now you're on the set again with Dana Carvey doing Hans and Franz. And is that like old home week? I mean, have you seen him?
Dana, yeah.
Oh, you have seen him over the years.
I see him around, yeah.
I feel like he disappeared off the planet, Dana Carvey. One of the most talented guys in the world.
Extremely talented, and very few people make me laugh more than him.
Right.
In a room, just alone with him. But
what happened? They just never figured out how to use him, right?
What does he do?
Well, you would have to get him on the show and ask him that.
I'm going to ask him that.
Because and we talked about you too, just the other day, and I think he's interested in.
I want him to come in here. I would love that. I really would.
Yeah, Howard, we asked him the last couple of times he was in town, and he passed us. We'd love to have him.
He passed? Who would pass on this?
It's like Arnold. You can't just ask. You got to be a little physical.
Yeah. Well, we will get that way. Tell me, I was forget Saturday Night Live. I think the most interesting aspect of your career was when you were a young guy. One of the jobs you had, I don't think we ever talked about this. You were a Santa Claus in a store, right?
Really?
Yeah. Now where did you do that?
I just moved to San Diego.
A San Diego Santa Claus.
I always figured just like perverts take those jobs so they can get kids on their lap.
We were talking about that yesterday. Is there a school or?
But I always think there's just it's like the most perverted job because you're having, little kids sitting on your lap. You know what I mean? It's just a weird job to have, right?
And that's why I think there has to be some kind of a certification or something.
Yeah, I mean, that whole Santa business is something else. I mean, some guys that's all they live for is Christmas. These older guys, they grow the beards out.
It seems like it'd be a good job, though. Do you get paid a decent amount of money?
It's not a good job.
Why is it bad?
Well, for me, I was 23 at the time, 24.
Right.
Thin, I looked like a kid. I should have been sitting on Santa's lap.
Yeah, you were barely a man.
And I was in San Diego. I just moved out from Connecticut to get into stand-up, and I wanted to check out San Diego first. And so my buddy and I worked for Manpower, temporary help agency. So we had a lot of part-time jobs, and they were everything from cleaning out warehouses, to, pulling weeds out of parking lots.
Whatever work you could grab for the day.
Whatever you could do, and you didn't need a lot. You just needed enough to pay, the hotel or whatever. And so we got a job working as Santa Clauses. They asked for 2 months. and I worked in the Sears department store in North Park in San Diego.
But you probably say to yourself, hey, this beats clearing out a warehouse. All I got to do is sit here and just talk to these kids.
Oh, yeah, and you're a star. Here comes Santa Claus.
Right.
You know, and you sit down there, and it's...
you got the beard, you have the fat
belly,
suit.
yeah.
We had a little stuffing in there. It's about as much as for Hans and Franz.
You're like a skinny Santa.
Yeah, it really was.
Yeah.
And it was just like a cotton beard. It was so cheap, and they were really cutting so many corners. And basically, it's to make money on taking pictures.
Right,
You know,
right.
And that's where they make the money in the photo department. And a lot of the kids from Tijuana would come over.
Really?
Yeah, and they were didn't speak English, and they were poor, and they were dirty, and they'd sit on your lap. And they didn't speak English, you know, and a lot of them were scared, and they would pee on your lap.
Are you shitting me? They piss
they would
in your
piss
lap?
on your lap. But,
Jesus.
But I think the Santa agency knew of this, that would happen, so they Scotch guarded all their clothes, so the pee would just bubble up and roll off the way.
Is that true?
Yeah.
You're not making this up?
No.
You're telling me they treated the Santa Claus outfits with special Scotch guarding so that the pee, because they knew.
Beat it up and rolled off.
Howard, I'm telling you that they sprayed these suits with the Scotch guard.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
This is huge.
This is news.
This is
Am I
going
going to say this? You've just broken news that no one ever realized. What a horrible job. Was one of your other jobs that you used to deliver cars to celebrities' homes?
Yeah, that was another job I had. I moved up to Los Angeles from San Diego after a couple of months.
Do you think you got that job because you look like a trustworthy guy? Because to take the cars to celebrities' homes.
Here's the thing. This was very high-end cars, Beverly Hills. Milt Friedman Car Leasing Company. I still remember the name. And it was on Wilshire Boulevard. And me and my buddy, we were roommates. We both wanted to be comics. We got the job there through Manpower.
Yeah.
And these were like, $200,000 cars, Lutzes, Mercedes, and I'm used to driving,
piece of
my
shit.
grandfather's old car that I drove out to L.A. in.
Yeah.
And we were out late at night doing comedy, and drinking and running around, and then we'd show up to work like 8 o'clock,
right.
and we'd have to bring, this Mercedes over to Barbara Streisand's house.
Yeah. Is that right? Was it literally Barbara Streisand's house?
I remember some of the people. It was Barbara Streisand, it was Jerry Lewis, Mel Brooks.
Wow. When you want to be a comic and you're delivering a car to Mel Brooks or Jerry Lewis's house, are you now preparing material in your head and what you're going to say to these guys if you do happen to run into them?
They were so, high on that extreme that I never even thought about that. I just wanted to see them. I was like a fan.
Did you get to see them? Like, because you had
you always saw like their kid or the assistant.
Oh, really?
You never saw it.
They had that worked out.
Yeah, I quit after that because I thought I'm not getting anything out of this
What
job.
is this bullshit?
But a lot of times you work at these places, and then they'd offer you a full-time job.
Right.
Which, we never took. We just kept moving on.
Should have done it.
Oh,
think of where you'd be right now. You'd probably be running that fucking dealership.
There was one job I worked at a car muffler place where they had watchdogs at night, and I had to clean up all the dog crap that was old and moldy, from the watchdogs.
Did Manpower get you the SNL job? Did they just send you over there for a couple of weeks?
Yes,
they
funny
needed
enough.
to fill in.
I mean, yeah. I was only supposed to be there for 2 days.
That's so cool. I can't believe it. Look at you. But what the hell are you promoting
I love to
anyway?
watch you work.
See Kevin Nealon this Thursday through Sunday at Caroline's Comedy Club in Manhattan. That's still a good place to work,
it's
right?
It's a great club, yeah.
Why is it so great? Because the audience is serious about their comedy?
Well, it's a beautiful room. It's big. It's been around for a long time. It's got a lot of history, and it's in Times Square. It's convenient.
Kevin's really good at stand-up. I'm just saying.
He's a funny man.
For tickets and more stand-up dates, you go to kevinnealon.com. And you can check out Kevin's new AOL web series, Laugh Lessons with Kevin Nealon. I thought this was a goof at first.
Laugh Lessons?
Now, is Laugh Lessons... Let me see if I got this right.
Yeah.
Laugh Lessons is like you'll have on Sarah Silverman.
Yeah.
And she comes in and teaches kids how to be funny?
Well, here's the thing. I have a 7-year-old.
Yeah. Is that the premise?
Yeah.
Really? Is it a serious thing or is it meant as a goof?
It's both. It's trying to see if kids can really be taught to be funny, or are you just born funny?
Right.
It's answering that question.
Ah.
And this all came about. Gary Shandling came over to my house about 4 years ago, and he was hitting my kid in the head with a pillow softly.
Trying to teach him how to be funny.
Teach him pratfalls.
Right.
And he said, Gable, when I hit you in the head softly, fall like I hit you hard. And that's,
and fall funny.
Yeah, and fall funny.
Right.
So we thought that this would be a great idea for a show. Have a different comic on each week, teaching kids comedy, and then maybe seeing how they can use it in their life to solve problems. So each week we have a different comic. You know, we've had Chelsea Handler on the show, teaching kids sarcasm.
Was she successful?
That's a tough one.
Now, do they test the kids at the end to see how good they are? Do you get a kid on there and get them? Do you ever have them come on and then be sarcastic after Chelsea has taught them to be sarcastic?
We actually do. They come on and they you know, perform what they've learned.
This sounds like a wonderful show.
It's a wonderful show. It's a wonderful idea.
Right.
And it's a lot of money.
It is a lot of money?
Millions.
No kidding.
That's just for the kids.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Did you ever tell a kid, you ever turn to a kid at the end of the show and say, listen, you don't have it. You're not sarcastic. You're not funny. Get the fuck out of here. You're going nowhere.
Yeah, you wouldn't tell them that, but you do kind of weed them out in the room. You get a lot of them together, and you start picking like, he's not good. He's no good.
What a crazy show. Now, how do I see that show? I see it
It's really easy. Just go on the computer, AOL.com, and type in laugh lessons.
Laugh lessons, okay.
Yeah, it's really fun.
Now, the other thing I'm curious about is, now, tell me if I got this right. Did you just get approved to have a series on NBC TV? You wrote a sitcom with your wife.
Yeah. Yeah.
Is that a mistake, writing a sitcom with your wife?
We'll see.
No, but I mean...
No, it's not. Well, here's how that came about. Well, first of all, we got this writing deal because of you.
Me?
I know you hear this probably a lot.
No, actually, you're the first person.
No, that's not true. We've had a lot of people get things.
I'm having fun repartee.
All right.
All right. Go ahead. All right. Of course, everyone who gets a deal in show business has me to thank.
And I hope you're getting something out of these deals.
Oh, yeah, a fortune.
Yeah.
I'm getting as much out of those deals as you're paying me. No, I get personal pleasure. Tell me what happened.
Well, I think this is the case. I think I was on here like the last time, and the head of 20th Century Fox, comedy division, Johnny Davis, is a big fan of yours, and he's a fan of mine, and he listened to the show, and he invited me and my wife in for a meeting and gave us a blind writing deal to come up with something.
How could you not tell me that?
I'm telling you right now.
That makes me so fucking happy.
That should have been the first thing you said when you sat down.
You know, it's funny. I'm thinking like Belzer.
We had a little foreplay before that.
I mean, that should have been announced in Hollywood Reporter.
That with the what was the other thing?
Howard Stern Power Broker. Come on.
Scotch Guard. And
Scotch Guard.
I remember Belzer when he was on here. It led to a long career as Detective Munch because the guy who directed the
Barry
thing
Levinson?
and created it heard him in the car and said, "Hey, you're my Munch." You know, that's it.
Belzer, also from my hometown.
From your hometown?
Yeah.
Alaska. That's right. Where is your hometown?
Take a guess. Just looking at me.
Right, I'm going to tell you
for
where you're from.
$100 million.
Okay. I get $100 million if I can tell you where you're from.
Mm-hmm.
You look corn-fed. You look, you know.
Does Belzer look corn-fed?
Yeah, you got to remember
that's
Belzer.
Right, Belzer. That's the thing. Belzer looks like he was fed by cancer.
But don't really go by the way I look.
Okay. Do you saying your look wouldn't play into it?
No, this town is...
But your attitude, I know you moved to California to work, so you weren't from California. We're going to rule that out.
I know Fred's looking it up right now.
No, I don't want any help.
I already know it, actually.
Oh.
Don't have to look it up.
I'm going to say, and this is off the top of my head, Indiana.
He told you. Did he tell you?
No, where are you from?
Bridgeport, Connecticut.
Oh, they say I never would have guessed that.
Yeah.
Wow, it's true. Belzer's not from Indiana. What the fuck am I thinking?
That's what I'm saying. You got to factor in Belzer every time.
I can't believe for $100 million, I just fucking didn't put more energy into it.
Do it with me now.
Where am I from?
Roosevelt.
I'm not giving you anything. You already got your reward. You got a deal. So wait a second. So what is the? So you got a sitcom? Is it going to air?
Well, no, we don't have a sitcom. We got a deal to write a sitcom.
Did you write it yet?
I'm writing it in my hotel room right now, and my wife, and we're going
with
back
your
and
wife. And your wife, of course, has a background in this. She's an actress.
Funny.
She's an actress.
Very
Did you know
funny.
she was this funny?
I didn't know she was this good of a writer.
Well, in other words, so you have the meeting with this guy.
Yeah.
He knows you, but how does your wife get involved?
Well, my wife and I have been writing partners for the last 3 years.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, so we've written other stuff before. And so we both came in, and we met with him, and he's a great guy, and just said, yeah, go come up with an idea and write it.
Oh, no kidding. Oh, so that's exciting.
But then you have to sell it to one of the networks. So we went around and pitched it. And we've been pitching for the last 3 years, ideas.
Oh.
And this was like the third year of going in, the networks and seeing the same people. And we were thinking, man, if we don't sell something this year, maybe we should just jump on somebody else's show,
Well, actually, I got a holding deal for Bigfoot, and he's with ABC right now. He's running his show.
Is that right?
Yeah, right. Actually, his show got greenlit, so there you go. In 2 weeks. No, are you kidding me? Guy he can't tie his shoes, let alone sell the thing. So anyway, so life is good.
So did they sell it? I'm like hanging here.
No.
Well, You know, they bought it for us to write, and then we sold it to NBC. I don't know if selling is the right word, but NBC wants to do it. And so if they like it, they will shoot the pilot. It's such a long shot. You know, you have to write it. First, you got to sell it, pitch it, you know, sell it, and then write it, and then have them like it, and get a bunch of notes, and go back and forth, and then maybe they'll shoot the pilot, and if they shoot the pilot, there's 20
I'm
pilots
amazed that anybody makes any money in this business, because you have to put in so much fucking time on something like this, where, you know, you're sitting, you're writing, you're doing, you know, and chances are it's never, ever going to get picked up. It's so rare that something gets picked up.
That's right. And then if it gets picked up, it's not like the way it used to be, where you can't really own the show that you created.
Right.
You know, you're just kind of a soldier.
I remember even Jerry Seinfeld, when the Seinfeld Chronicles started, and he had it on the air. It wasn't a hit right away, and he was struggling with that, and he was trying to get people to tune in. I mean, and he got it on the air. I mean, the odds of having a hit show are so slim.
Yeah, yeah.
And when I see people who get a hit show and then they walk away, it drives me crazy.
Like who?
Charlie Sheen.
Charlie Sheen. That's right. Thank you, Rob.
David Tell.
David Tell. What was the guy from MASH who...
David Tell walked away from a hit show? You mean Dave Chappelle?
Dave Chappelle, yeah.
David Tell is not walking away from anything.
No, David Tell can hardly walk.
I know Dave. That's right. He's staying right where he is. The Chappelle, that drove me out of my fucking mind. Did it drive you crazy?
It didn't drive me crazy. I just thought maybe I could do that show.
If they need a replacement, you'll step in.
I know the black audience loves you. They really do.
You know, I have a lot of African American fans from Weeds.
Yes.
So Weeds.
What happened with Weeds? That's gone,
it's
right?
over,
That's over.
That's one thing that I'll always regret, that you never saw Weeds.
I'm going to see it. I'm going to get
this.
There's
too many other good things on right now.
I'm going to watch it in bulk.
What are you watching
America's
right
Got Talent is coming back.
I'm watching. I just finished Sons of Anarchy last night.
Yeah.
Fabulous. Killing, mayhem, loved it.
Yeah, you
great
like that
series.
stuff.
I like The Affair.
Oh.
He just caught on to The Affair.
Just I'm current with
that.
That is two British actors.
Dominic West, the guy who used to be in The Wire.
And the very attractive woman. And,
I don't remember her name.
And the kid from Dawson's Creek. I don't know. Josh. Now, also Joshua Jackson.
Yes.
Who I met over the summer.
Oh,
nice
did you?
kid. Yeah, nice guy. Nice guy. Lovely.
Yeah.
Lovely.
So, but there was a lot of good shows on. It's hard to watch.
Homeland.
Homeland. I watch. You
House
watch
of Cards.
House of Cards. Terrific.
Homeland. I will tell you, I loved it when Brody was on.
Yeah. You
but
don't
this
like
year
it
it's
now?
been a little tough getting into it.
I like it better this year.
Okay, I've heard I got to watch the first couple.
Yeah. It's good.
I had the same problem you had, and it took me a few episodes before it sunk in.
I just watched the opening credits of the first one.
But there's some great television going on. Really is.
Oh, yeah.
So that's why it would be nice if you got on. But I know it's a very competitive thing. You know, that's why you like stand-up. I'm going to talk for you.
Listening.
Because you can listen to me.
Listen.
If you like stand-up because, you know what? You sit, you write your jokes, you do your thing, you come up with your thoughts, and you get on stage and you deliver it well, and you don't have to sit there and wait to get approved and all this other nonsense. Am I correct?
That is true,
That's why you're going to be most happy when you're at Caroline's.
But do you do a lot of stand-up?
I do a lot, and you know...
He's very good.
And it's interesting because, you know, in my 30s I was saying, you know, I'm not going to be on the road when I'm in my 40s. I'm not going to be staying these Holiday Inns and stuff. And then each decade, and I'm in my 40s. I'm not going to do this in my 50s. You know.
In other words, you're telling us, you're alerting us that you're going to be like Don Rickles. We're going to put you out in a wheelchair, and you're going to be hit that stage, aren't you?
I ran into Bob Newhart at the Denver airport.
How old is he now?
80-something, I think.
Right, 80 plus.
Yeah, and he was just sitting there with his ball cap on and, I don't know, some baseball jacket. And it might have been a baseball player. Maybe it wasn't Bob Newhart. But
what's he doing in baseball gear?
Yeah,
I go to the airport in full football. I'm suited up just in case. You saw Bob Newhart in a baseball jacket and a baseball cap.
And there's another example. Bob hosted SNL once, so you know he sees me like a good buddy.
Kindred spirit.
Yeah, and so he goes, "How's it going?" I said, "I'm doing all right. I'm just getting tired of working on the road. You know, I've been doing this for like 27 years." He goes, "Try doing it for 52."
But yet something about it you love. Yeah, I mean, you must.
There's something about it, you know. I mean, I do love it. It's really what I ever wanted to do. It's all I wanted to do. That's why I moved to Los Angeles to get into stand-up comedy.
Right.
And then the acting came secondary.
Right.
And you know, be careful what you wish for.
Yeah, but You always want that one role where you can get on TV and just fucking be in one place at one time and not hit the road so much, right? That's our goal.
I mean, here's what it is, and I'm sure it's the same for you. You want some kind of an income stream.
That's right.
Where you don't have to go outside of town and, you know, at this age, because you're thinking, okay.
I thought I died and went to heaven when it was a couple of years into my career where I was in New York where I wanted to end up. And it seemed like I was going to be here for a while. I couldn't believe I wouldn't have to move every year like most radio guys. And that's what that to me was my goal, to stay in one place, you know, and not move around the country so much. And I beat the odds. Everyone I know has to move 5,000 times. I only had to move like 10 times. You know what I mean? It was, I beat the odds.
Yeah, I do a lot of these radio shows around the country, and these guys are like military. They're always moving city to city.
I have so many friends, talented guys. But these radio stations, they change all the time. It's constant moving, and they have families, and it's the saddest fucking life. You know, I a couple of times they've had shows about radio guys, you know, like WKRP in Cincinnati and this and that. They didn't make them sad enough. It should be a fucking tragedy. Yeah. Let's write this tonight.
There you go. You got a show.
Yours is not a tragedy, though.
No, but I don't know. God smiled on me. Yes.
And you're talented.
Oh, no.
You're not talented.
No.
You're so humble.
An ounce of talent.
You're so humble.
I want everyone to go see you.
Listen to me.
Listen to me. I want everyone to see Kevin Nealon this Thursday through Sunday at Caroline's Comedy Club in Manhattan.
Go ahead.
He is hysterically funny. He's a master at this craft. And he really doesn't want to go into some other business like buying vending machines.
Or delivering cars.
Or delivering cars to Barbra Streisand's house. For tickets and more stand-up dates, go to kevinnealon.com.
Look at how great Robin looks.
Robin.
You're so lucky to have her with you.
Robin is my shining light. There she is. Listen.
My music.
Listen to her music.
I didn't even say anything. That music is only supposed to be played when I'm making a
You want to have some fun, Kevin? You want to have fun?
Yeah.
I'm going to play this song from the beginning. Just stare at Robin.
What is this song?
This is what I do. This is a song from Eritrea. It's one of Robin's vacations. She recorded it. Fred, stop it for a second. Now, just stare at Robin when the music plays.
Oh, my goodness.
Go.
Why are you doing that? Now turn it off.
How fun is that?
Oh, my goodness. That happens to me every day.
And it's become so synonymous with the news.
That's the highlight of my day.
It really is.
For tickets and more stand-up dates, go to kevinnealon.com, where there's a lot of activity, a lot of things going on.
There's a lot of activity.
You constantly update your website?
Good luck getting on kevinnealon.com.
Didn't the internet crash?
Breaking servers.
You broke the internet like Kim Kardashian's ass.
That's right.
And check out Kevin's new AOL web series, Laugh Lessons with Kevin Nealon, okay? And also, if you want Kevin to come to your house, you must sign up with the Manpower Temp Agency and see if he shows up.
Will you check out my website sometime and let me know what you think of it?
I will.
Yeah.
You want my opinion? You want my honest opinion?
I do.
All right. You want me to write a critique about it, or
you don't have to write anything, but next time I see you, say. Hey,
all right. Next time I'm gonna go look at it.
Yeah.
I can't wait. Is a big picture of you on there?
No.
Oh.
No, it's actually some moving slides. I need to update it.
Oh,
my webmaster's.
There's moving slides.
There's moving slideshow.
Slideshow?
That's how old it is.
And what could it be, this slideshow? Your characters, Hans and Franz, or?
I don't even think. I think it's me when I played football in college.
Right.
It's me sitting with a luthier who made a guitar for me.
Yeah.
You know, with my kid and my father and that kind of stuff.
Yeah, it sounds like I'm going to have a lot to say about
Before I get into the business.
Any pictures of you delivering cars or Mexican kids peeing on your lap?
Santa, anything.
You know, I had a picture of me with a snake around my neck.
Yeah.
I'm doing Santa Claus because I worked at the San Diego Zoo for 1 month.
Right.
They put me in the reptile cage.
You got that up on the webpage?
No, I can't find it.
Oh, well, that would have been a hit.
I'm looking for it, and if I find it,
see if you can put it up there.
Oh,
okay?
it'll be up there. Yeah.
All right, Kevin Nealon, everybody. We're going to take a break, and then we got a bunch of stuff to do. Barbara Walters will be coming in later.
Saw her name on the door.
Yes.
I couldn't believe it.
Right next to yours.
Would she have done this show 10 years ago?
I think she's been doing it for about 10 years.
Oh, I say 11 years ago. Would she do this?
No, she actually, I just checked, she's been doing it for 11 years.
Oh, is that right?
That's right. Do you have another question? I know what your question is. 12 years ago, would she have been doing this? Probably not. All right. Listen.
Listen to me.
Great seeing you.
It's always good seeing you. I've been looking forward to this for a long time.
Me too. Great Kevin Nealon. Come see us again. We'll be back right after these words.
Fox News reporting